in, but
look at us, you guys. It's
20 seconds early.
Premature button pushing is what it is.
That's right. 20 seconds
You're welcome.
early.
You're welcome, everybody. Okay, you guys. I need to tell you about the Eden Pure Deals little deal we got going on here. You should visit EdenPureDeals.com and use discount code CHICKS360 to save over $25. It's a lot. And free shipping on the Eden Pure 360 air fan.
Do you still have it on your little shelfie shelf?
I don't.
Can I see it? Oh, I can kind of see the little bit of it.
Can you see it? You can see it right there. I have a problem with that. Right there.
It's right over there.
You can see it right over there. Yeah, that's where I keep it. And it's awesome. And so you should do that. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. Sorry, I have not had nearly enough coffee.
Get boned.
I got to get myself boned, you guys. Also, we recorded yesterday a really awesome deep dive with Ami Kozak. You guys know the guy that goes, I love my brother, I love my family.
I love my family. God, he was so great. So great.
Yeah. And I mean, the beginning of it is kind of serious because he's a brilliant guy.
We've been showing his clips about Israel have been amazing.
Just a wonderful, brilliant guy. We did an actual deep dive on some stuff, all the stuff that's going on. But then at the end, Miriam Mock did a really terrible thing. And then she's like, oh, Daisy does a really good Bernie impression. Oh my God.
You do. And
I don't. It's horrific.
Really, really good.
And so I was forced to do it for him for like 2 seconds. And he's like, no, you sound like Bernie Sanders, like ailing mother is what you sound like, which I do. I mean, it's the worst. And what are you doing? It sounds, it's terrible. So he actually did his Bernie Sanders impression. And he did like all these other impressions. You guys, like he did impressions that we've never heard. They're amazing. So you got to check that out this weekend because he does impressions that are he does, I mean, so many that we've never shown you. They're awesome. So he's just a great guy. Check it out. Ami Kozak, the deep dive this weekend. It comes out tomorrow afternoon. So check that out.
He was such a delight. Oh my gosh. We were rolling.
His BB impression. Oh my God. I was not
expecting that. Yeah, I was not expecting that. It was awesome. So you will not want to miss that, you guys. You will not want to. All right, let's get to a few little tidbits before we get to the videos. And the first little news headline that we need to talk about is Sidney Powell. So Sidney Powell, who is one of the, 19 people who were charged altogether with Trump on this whole election denying, racketeering, whatever, all of that stuff. So she and one other person, and I don't remember who it is, but she and one other person were split out from the 19 to allow them to get like a separate trial thing. And so she pled guilty to 6 reduced charges of attempts to overthrow the election or interfere with the election. So it's really interesting because there were the people who were like, oh my God, this is so bad for Trump, because part of her plea deal was to agree to testify in all these other trials, including against him. So that's part of it. And so people like a lot of people on the left were like, yay, look at, she's going to totally take Trump down. But then there's also the other side, which is like, this judge knows that she has no case again, that these charges are all BS. And that's why they reduce the charges from felony charges to misdemeanors, so that Sidney Powell is not going to serve a single day in jail. She's going to be like on probation for 6 years or something. And she has to pay like a $6,000 fine, whatever. And then she has to write a letter to the people of Georgia saying, sorry that I did this. And then she has to agree to testify. So that's all part of her plea deal. So depending on where you are, you may have different thoughts about what this all means for Trump, if it's going to be horrible for him or if it's not. I have no idea.
The letter is really going to get her. That letter.
She has to write a sternly worded apology.
I mean, it's the dumbest thing ever. It's so stupid. Right.
But it is interesting that every charge was, reduced so that she has not been charged with she has not been convicted of a single felony. It's all misdemeanors, which makes me wonder, how the rest of these trials are going to go and how Trump's charges are going to go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he could use that to his advantage to say, this is all, you've you've trumped up, no pun intended, you've trumped up these charges so that they're completely ridiculous and they don't make any sense. But anyway, that's what's happening with Sidney Powell. So yeah, 6 years probation, and she's got to testify in other trials.
God, it's all so dramatic.
Yeah, it's a lot of drama. Also, Cher is threatening to leave the country if Trump wins another term as president.
Just go.
These terms are acceptable to me.
They never go. I mean, remember when like Rosie O'Donnell and like Alec Baldwin, all these people, they all are like, I'm gonna
you made me promises.
They never go, you guys. They never leave.
They never do it.
Yeah, so go.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. If you're saying it, you better do it. Because we're all completely fine.
And where are they going to go? Where are they going to go to Canada? I mean, it's like, because that
probably.
Where is it that they plan on going exactly? Where are you going to go? The Middle East? Going to go to
I'll tell you what, if Pierre Poilievre wins, I'd be like, Canada, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, right.
And Biden wins again, and Pierre is over there. I'll be like,
you're looking pretty good there, Canada. Yeah, that's true. I mean, except for the cold.
Yeah, no, it's bad. It's really,
I'm in Texas for a reason, and one of those reasons is the blazing heat. So yeah, Canada. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody minds if she takes a hike.
Just go. So.
If you did not catch the address to the nation by President Biden yesterday, we'll give you just a couple of highlights in a little bit. But first, we need to tell you that the overall gist was, hey, America, I'm going to need you to pay $100 billion more towards security of the United States and other nations. And so here's how that number breaks down. So he wants $60 billion more dollars for Ukraine. He wants $14 billion for Israel. He wants $14 billion for our border security, which I thought was so interesting because remember when Trump was asking for, what was it, like $4 or $5 billion tops?
5 for the wall.
For the whole wall?
5 for the wall. That's what it was. Yeah. And liberals were like, oh my God, no, it's racist.
Right. And now now there's going to be $14 billion in border security. Now, what that means, I have absolutely no idea. But there's $14 billion for that, $10 billion for humanitarian aid, and then another $7 billion for the Indo-Pacific, without much clarity about exactly what that means.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know.
Somebody asked where this money is coming from. It's coming from unicorn farts and puppy kisses. That's where it's coming from.
But also from your paycheck.
Right. And your paycheck. Right.
Mostly from your paycheck. And then additionally, they're just going to print more of it and we'll have
then you said
rising costs.
The Palestinian people, basically Hamas. What part of that is going to Hamas?
Well, if it's $10 billion in humanitarian aid, then I would say $10 billion
is going to Hamas. That's what's going to Hamas. So $10 billion is going to terrorism. That's
because I don't. Well, we've got some videos to show about that concern later, which I don't think you're going to feel any better about it. But that's
okay. So what part was going to Ukraine again? Because $10 billion will be going to terrorism.
$60 billion, $60 billion more than we've already given.
Okay, so I was irritated last night because he should have been giving a speech about the Israel conflict. I don't like the Ukraine thing. Can we just like maybe like
table
focus
it
just for the night, just for the night. Can we just table it and then talk about just the Israel conflict today, just today? He was not focused. He was all over the place. That was driving me crazy. I needed a little bit of focus last night and he was not doing that. That was pissing me off. I didn't like it.
Well, and Dana Perino was right there with you on that because I was screaming the entire time. I was screaming because I could not believe in a 15-minute speech that he did not once mention our border, not a single time about all of the freaking terrorists that are coming over our border. Not a single time did he mention that. And we've got some reaction to get to as well.
And he didn't spend a lot of time talking about the hostages either.
No, I mean, it was very fleeting. The
Yeah, it was
bulk of it was
fleeting.
about Putin and Ukraine, and
Right.
apparently that was what the whole speech was going to be. And then the Israel thing happened, and then the speechwriters were like, "Oh, we better add a couple lines
my
about Israel in there."
God, it was
So
yeah, this is not okay. And that's the thing. If I were a person, if I were a family member of somebody who is a hostage is being held right now by Hamas, I would be even more livid. I was
Yeah.
livid as I was just as American citizen watching him saying, "Well, it's of my top priority to get the hostages back." Is it? Because I don't believe you. I don't
Yeah.
believe you at all. Because what he should have been really firm and aggressive and with these other crap hole places and saying this is not just a top priority, but we will kick your butt if you even like touch one of these people, one of these Americans. If anything happens to these people, we're coming for you. I didn't hear that.
He'll never say that, and our actions as a country totally belie that too. Because like there were rockets fired at the U.S. base in Iraq last night. I mean, this was happening like just a few moments before he went live. So it's all on. It's all happening, and all the embassies are being attacked. Like I don't know what else. Like America is in this war, and so
Right.
for him to not be strong about it is just the worst. He's just the worst president of all time.
Right. And
The worst.
everybody needs to understand that Iran and China and Russia, North Korea, they're all looking at us and going, like, what a bunch of wusses. Like that
Yeah,
guy
we got him now.
He's the biggest loser. He's pathetic. He's dementia ridden. Like now's our time. Like they're
Yeah.
so weak. They smell blood in the water. They're so weak. If you
Yep.
can't see that, oh my God, I can't help you.
You guys, we did a little bit of self-care. We did a little bit of self-indulgence, if you will, and we got ourselves some Cozy Earth sheets.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're nice. They're really nice.
Oh my gosh. So I was not expecting to be like so completely blown away by just a set of sheets. And listen, we've talked to you before about Cozy Earth loungewear and how if you're looking for sort of a high-end luxury gift for somebody or for yourself, this is the website that you want to go to, cozyearth.com. So the sheets, you guys, they're made of that bamboo viscose, or viscose from bamboo rather. And they are, I've stayed in hotels where they have like those amazingly soft sheets. And I've just been like, oh my God, this is like, what is it? What is this? Now I know. The Cozy Earth sheets are like a step of luxury above even the nicest hotels. They feel amazing and they make you want to sleep naked. That's what I'm saying. They feel amazing, you guys. And they have 100.
You totally went there.
You have 100 nights to try them. And if you don't love them, if you are not completely blown away, you will get your money back. And right now, when you go to cozyearth.com and you use promo code CHICKS40, make sure to include that 40, okay? CHICKS40, you're going to get 40% off their already low sale prices. Let me just show you. I know you can't like feel through your screen the softness of what I'm showing you on the screen right now, but they are like otherworldly, buttery soft. And then look at all these colors. They come in like 13 different colors. They're amazing. I cannot say enough good stuff about them.
They're pretty. Yeah. What color did you get?
I got, let me show you. I got this light gray.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's really.
What did you get?
I got white.
You got white.
You got white.
You're like a hotel traditional girl.
Yeah, I'm a traditional girl.
Yeah. Anyway, they're amazing. 100 nights to try it, fall in love. Visit cozyearth.com and use promo code CHICKS40. Okay, CHICKS40, not just chicks, but CHICKS40, and get yourself some awesome, amazing, luxury, naked-worthy sheets.
Naked worthy. That's what it's about.
All right. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Alexandra. That is very generous. She says the left always threatens to leave the country and move somewhere else like Canada or a country they don't know is conservative because they think it's safer to live there due to the fact that conservative countries have Christian values.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I would just say to Cher, please go.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like all for it.
It's funny because she'll be like, I want to move to some place like Iceland where they have like really strict immigration laws and they won't let her in. You know, it's like, get a grip, people.
Ridiculous. All right, let's get to the speech. So we've got a few clips to share with you. The first one is like right at the very beginning, where he sort of this is his strongest moment, I would say, because he was focused on Israel and what happened to Israel. So out of the 15 minutes, the first minute or so was fine. You guys see what you think.
Listen, the President of the United States, Joe Biden.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. We're facing an inflection point in history. One of those moments where the decisions we make today are going to determine the future for decades to come. That's what I'd like to talk with you about tonight. You know, early this morning, I returned from Israel. They tell me I'm the first American president to travel there during the war. I met with the Prime Minister and members of his cabinet. And most movingly, I met with Israelis who had personally lived through horrific horror of the attack by Hamas on the 7th of October. More than 1,300 people slaughtered in Israel, including at least 32 American citizens. Scores of innocents, from infants to the elderly grandparents. Israelis, Americans taken hostage. As I told the families of Americans being held captive by Hamas, we're pursuing every avenue to bring their loved ones home. As president, there is no higher priority for me than the safety of Americans held hostage. The terrorist group Hamas unleashed pure, unadulterated evil in the world. But sadly, the Jewish people know perhaps better than anyone that there is no limit to the depravity of people when they want to inflict pain on others. In Israel, I saw people who are strong, determined, resilient, and also angry, in shock and in deep, deep pain. I also spoke with President Abbas, the Palestinian Authority, and reiterated the United States.
Anyway, as Joe Biden would say.
He was like at the beginning when he said, they tell me I'm the first American president to go over to Israel during a wartime. Like,
okay.
why did he have to throw that in? Like,
I don't know.
What was that? Is that just,
Yeah.
am I the only person that was irritated by that?
He said it another time too. There was another moment where he was like, I'm the first person to do.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what the other thing was.
Like, congratulations. Shut up.
That was it though. Like when it comes to mentioning the hostages at all, that was pretty much as we were going to get.
That's it. You're right.
Yeah.
That's what exactly. Like pulling clips on that. It's like that you have to scour where he talked about hostages. There should have been way more talk about that. Or at least there should have been more forceful talk about the hostages. He was not firm. He was not aggressive. He was not forceful in talking about that at all. And I wanted to see more of that last night. And I didn't see it. I was like waiting for him to say more about it. Where was that?
Yeah. He was much too busy focusing on the aid that he wants to give, essentially Hamas. I mean, they're calling it humanitarian aid for the Palestinian, for the Gazans. Everybody has seen this play before, okay? But yet here he is saying the same thing again.
President Netanyahu and I discussed again yesterday the critical need for Israel to operate by the laws of war.
That made me
so mad. That means protecting civilians in combat as best as they can. The people of Gaza urgently need food, water, and medicine. Yesterday, in discussions with the leaders of Israel and Egypt, I secured an agreement for the first shipment of humanitarian assistance from the United Nations to Palestinian civilians in Gaza.
Oh my God.
If Hamas does not divert or steal this shipment, these shipments, we're going to provide an opening for sustained delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance for the Palestinians. As I said in Israel, as hard as it is, we cannot give up on peace. We cannot give up on a two-state solution. Israel and Palestinians equally deserve to live in safety, dignity, and peace. You know, and here at home, we have to be honest with ourselves. In recent years, too much.
If you were being honest with yourself, then you would actually reassess the whole two-state solution, because they've been trying that forever, right?
Right.
I mean,
it's not Israel that isn't down to have just some peace in that area. They have been waiting for it forever. Exactly. They're not the problem. And that's why it made me so mad when he was like, I talked to Netanyahu about making sure that he abides by international law. Really? I mean, that's the tone that you want to set in this, is that you're scolding Netanyahu about how Israel needs to behave in this war.
Exactly. And if
It
you
just
were
makes me so mad.
if you were actually being honest with yourself, then you would understand that you cannot negotiate with terrorists.
Right.
And you can't give terrorists humanitarian aid thinking that they're going to actually be dealing with humanitarian things with it. They're not going to do that. They've never
They're
done
going to use
that.
it all for themselves,
Of course
as they always
are.
have.
As they
forever.
always have. Because if they didn't do that, that place would already be a decent place. I mean, we've talked about them. It's like, we know this. Everybody knows this. Everybody with half a brain knows that that is what they're going to do with it. I cannot believe that he wants to take our money and do this with it and give it to terrorists. I don't want him to do that.
We have representatives from this administration explaining how it's going to be just fine. There. Don't you worry your pretty little head about that. So we'll get to that in just a second. But lastly, we have this clip of him talking about Putin. And again, this was a speech that was absolutely all over the place. And you just never knew quite when he was going to be talking about Israel or Ukraine or China. It was absolutely all over the place. Here's this last bit.
Real statehood. He claims the Soviet Union created Ukraine. And just 2 weeks ago, he told the world that if the United States and our allies withdraw, and if the United States withdraw, our allies will as well, military support for Ukraine would have, quote, a week left to live, but we're not withdrawing. I know these conflicts can seem far away, and it's natural to ask, why does this matter to America? So let me share with you why making sure Israel and Ukraine succeed is vital for America's national security. You know, history has taught us that when terrorists don't pay a price for their terror, when dictators don't pay a price for their aggression, they cause more chaos and death and more destruction. They keep going, and the cost and the threats to America and the world keep rising. So if we don't stop Putin's appetite for power and control in Ukraine, he won't limit himself just to Ukraine. Putin's already threatened to remind Poland that their Western land was a gift from Russia. One of his top advisors, a former president of Russia, has called Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania Russia's Baltic provinces. These are all NATO allies. For 75 years, NATO has kept peace in Europe and has been the cornerstone of American security. And if Putin attacks a NATO ally, we will defend every inch of NATO which the treaty requires and calls for. We'll have something that we do not seek. Make it clear, we do not seek. We do not seek to have American troops fighting in Russia or fighting against Russia. Beyond Europe, we know that our allies, and maybe most importantly our adversaries and competitors, are watching. They're watching our response in Ukraine as well. And if we walk away and let Putin erase Ukraine's independence, would-be aggressors around the world would be emboldened to try the same. The risk of conflict and chaos could spread in other parts of the world, in the Indo-Pacific, in the Middle East, especially in the Middle East. Iran is supporting Russia in Ukraine, and it's supporting Hamas.
And meanwhile, we've got a border that's wide ass open.
And it was never mentioned, not a single time.
Not
once. I was screaming.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why at the end of this, when Brit Hume was like, that was just masterful.
Oh my God.
I couldn't believe my ears. Like, I was like, are we watching the same show? Here is Brit immediately after.
Well, I think it may be remembered as one of the best, if not the best, speeches of his presidency. He was firm, he was unequivocal, he was strong, as he has been, particularly in recent days before he went to Israel and while he was over there.
I
could not.
just took Janet Yellen's shrooms.
What in the world?
All of the shrooms. Just took them.
What? Incredible.
Yeah,
incredible.
I know. I have no idea. I watched that too, and I was like, what is he talking about? Did he watch the same speech? What in the hell? Yeah,
and this is what Dana Perino wanted to know, because she was like, wait, what?
What is going on?
Well, I'm a little out of my comfort zone because I almost always agree with Brit Hume. And I almost wish we were sitting next to each other so that I could hold his hand and say, could we watch that together again? Because I actually didn't think it was strong. I prepared all day to love this speech. I prepared to want to stand up and cheer. And at times I felt like we were reading a speech whose pages had been mixed up out of order. I thought that he didn't spend enough time talking about the atrocities of October 7th. He does obviously have a definite, deep understanding of the pain, and he is definitely against anti-Semitism, both abroad and at home. But he rushed that part of the speech so much, and the next thing I know, we're talking about Ukraine, and then we're kind of back to Israel, but then, wait, are you going to bring it up Taiwan as well? I thought there was going to be something on the southern border. I did not think it was as strong as it could have been, and I wanted it to be strong. Here's what I think I would have done. This speech, as Martha, you pointed out, was largely written about Ukraine. That is a good speech for him to give. I think what I would have done tonight in an Oval Office address is to say, I'm here to talk to you about the atrocities and the terrorist attacks. We are in a fight between civilization and barbarism, and it's not just happening in Israel, it's happening in these parts of the world, and point those out. And at the end of the speech, I think he could have said, I will be going to Congress on Monday. I will make everybody sit together, even though they don't have a speaker right now, and I will make them listen to me, and I'm going to make this pitch for the money because we need to take this very seriously. Matthew Continetti wrote a piece today that I thought was so good. He said, we are no longer at a stage where we can say can and should help fund these efforts. We are now in a situation where foreign policy is so deteriorated that we are in a position of need and must. So to me, watching the speech, it felt like watching a pinball game, and I wanted to love it. And I want to sit next to Brit Hume and hold his hand and see if we can watch it together again.
I've never seen that between Dana Perino and Brit Hume. Harold, I want to.
Yeah. The need and the must thing really bothers me. Because she may be right about need and must, but it shouldn't be that way. And like we said before, our border needs to be freaking closed. They need to close our freaking border now. Like they have to close it. And they're not doing that. They're not taking care of us. It's like we're taking care of all these other people. And like they're not doing the thing that they are most responsible for, which is us, the American people, taking care of us, making sure that our safety is intact. They're not doing that. That's job number one. And they're not doing it. Do it. And then address all the other things, which is, listen, I mean, that should have been like priority number one. So all the things she said, I totally agree with. But the first thing you should have said is, listen, I know a lot of you guys are feeling unsafe. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to close that freaking border.
Right.
And that's the first thing he should have said in that speech. And then he could have gone on and said all those other things, happy little things that Dana said. I agree with.
Well, and the other thing that he did not mention at all was any of the horrific protesters across our country.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so angry about that. He should have been super clear about how intolerable and unacceptable all of these pro-Palestinian protests are. And he did not mention them a single speck, not a speck. Mm-hmm. That was another thing. Like between our southern border and all the crap that's happening here at home, he did not even glaze over it. Like it was nothing. It was just left out completely.
Because he doesn't care.
Oh my God.
This administration does not care about us. Doesn't care about the American people. They don't. I mean, look at everything that they've done in the past year. My daughter-in-law was like, listen, I don't want to watch this speech. You know, tell me, give me a Reader's Digest version of what happened. And I did. I kind of gave her a little lowdown on everything that went on last night. And, you know, as I read over it and then I went back and we, you know, talked about some more things, I'm just like, my God, what this guy has done in 2 years to absolutely destroy this country, just in so many different ways, internally and then from a foreign policy standpoint.
Which is supposed to be his strength.
Right. Exactly, Mock. It's staggering, you guys. I mean, It is absolutely remarkable what he has done in such a short period of time.
And it started with Obama, because this is what you get when you try to appease or try to negotiate or play or hold hands with freaking Iran.
Right.
You don't do it.
Yeah, precisely. Anyway.
Larry Kudlow also weighing in on the
play
president's
something
speech.
for you. It's Satnam.
Iron Dome is. I'm going to continue to praise Mr. Biden thus far and his unequivocal support for Israel, including the so-called Iron Dome Israeli defense, as John Roberts just discussed. Biden deserves credit here. But I am not going to give him credit for forcing Israel to accept $100 million of so-called humanitarian aid, because in Gaza, humanitarian aid is Hamas aid. Even worse, it's U.S. taxpayer-funded Hamas aid. Hamas cares not one whit about civilian Palestinians. The terrorists are going to take food, fuel, munitions, war, whatever they want for their own purposes. If the IDF were running that operation, I might think differently, but they won't. The IDF will bomb Hamas when they see the terrorists pilfering the aid. That's going to be a very tough story. Nor do I.
I mean, this is the dumbest plan. And there were two different clips to share. I'll just let them run back to back. One is with that soy boy. I don't even know his name. That soy boy from the State Department. He was asked, how can you be sure that these millions of dollars are not going to just directly benefit Hamas? You'll hear his answer. And then there was a reporter asking another one of the Biden team advisors the same question. You guys, if you feel more confident after watching these two clips, let me know. I definitely do not.
I think the concern the Israeli government has, and they've said this publicly, and they certainly said it privately to us, is that any assistance that goes in will be diverted once it's inside Gaza. That there's not an Israeli military force in Gaza. There's not a UN peacekeeping force in Gaza. The people with guns inside Gaza are Hamas, and so Hamas may try to divert this assistance and keep it from getting to the civilians who it is intended for. We think that's a legitimate concern. We've made clear that this aid needs to go to innocent civilians and not Hamas. We're going to be watching very carefully how it's delivered because we want to be sensitive to those concerns, which we share.
How? How are
the
they going to watch it?
president pledged $100 million in an aid package to Palestinian civilians, innocent civilians in Gaza and the West Bank. How is the United States going to ensure that none of that ends up in the hands of Hamas?
Oh, my God.
Well, as you know, this was a primary focus of the president's diplomacy yesterday, both in Israel, where he met with the entire Israeli security establishment, but also in his phone conversations with regional leaders, including President al-Sisi of Egypt. Getting assistance into Gaza is a complicated undertaking. It involves essentially securing an understanding among Hamas fighters who control the checkpoint on the other side of the border, among the government of Israel and among the government of Egypt. And the agreement the president secured will enable these trucks to flow as soon as the roadway can be repaired. But the president was also quite clear that if this assistance goes in, it cannot be misappropriated, cannot be taken by Hamas fighters for their own purposes. And so we're going to be watching that very closely. It has to get to Palestinian civilians who need it.
It has to. But the question is, from what you just said, is the U.S. then essentially in a position where it has to take the word of Hamas that it will not be taken? I mean, what other guarantee can there be?
We believe there is an understanding now among all of the players who control that crossing.
Oh my God!
They have an understanding, you guys.
There's an understanding.
There's an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yeah, it's just like a handshake deal with terrorists. This is outrageous. I just cannot. And there are people.
Insane.
There are people on the left who are actually thinking that this is okay. Like
they're demanding it.
Yeah, exactly. That this is a good thing. You know, it's unbelievable. These people are bleeding heart whack jobs who want us to give money to terrorists.
And we will. We are. It's happening. There's nothing we can do to stop it, unfortunately.
God.
Paula Johnson, thank you. Paula says, oh my God, I got the sheets a few months ago. You described them perfectly. They do not give them away, but so worth it. Yeah, this is like a whole other level of sheets. When we're talking about Cozy Earth, that's a whole other level of luxury. Okay, so that's, you're right, Paula. Thank you for getting them.
It's a treat yourself kind of thing.
It's a treat yourself kind of thing. Michelle Archer, thank you. Michelle says, morning chicks. My niece and I are in San Antonio at a Christian women's conference, a room full of women praying for our country, families, and our future. That's awesome. And Eugene, thank you. Why are we responsible for these countries? Why do we give money to countries we can be energy dependent on our own?
You're right.
It's a great question. Right. And, theoretically, I understand the point to be made about helping Ukraine. I just don't understand why it seems like the United States is owning the brunt of it when there's a whole bunch of European countries that should be the ones that are really, really footing the bill for most of this. Yeah. And they just seem to be waiting for us to do stuff. That's my problem.
And to the point of being energy dependent, you're absolutely right about that. As I drive all over Texas all the time, see a lot of oil rigs that are just sitting there, not doing anything. We could drill here. And I don't understand why we don't do it. I see billboards that are up that say, we should be drilling here. Like, screw Joe Biden. We should be drilling here.
Right.
People here want to do that. Why aren't we doing that?
Yeah. And our reserves are like so low at this point that if like the Mideast decided, you know what, we're just going to cut off oil supplies.
Yeah.
They could destroy without firing a single shot. They could destroy this country so easily. And it's ridiculous that we are this dependent.
And that's the fault of our leaders.
Yeah.
It's like they have literally suffocated us. And there's no reason for that to happen. We've got the resources. Ridiculous.
Robin, thank you. My youngest asked me if she should buy a cross so that she knows, so no one knows she's Jewish. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. There was a protest near her university. Please wish her a happy 20th. Can you believe that this is a thing in America that we have to?
No, I can't.
Oh my gosh. That is just horrendous. Horrendous. I know this is like a terrible segue, but I do want to tell everybody that you can still get a free full-size bottle of this amazing olive oil. Wait, there's a label. Fresh pressed olive oil. If you have not tried olive oil from Fresh Pressed Olive Oil, you are missing out on the most fresh, the most like literally ripped from a vine, smashed up and put into a bottle and then sent to your mailbox olive oil on the planet. And this is something you and I did not care about one speck before we heard about fresh pressed olive oil.
And now store-bought is disgusting to me.
Right?
It's gross. It's vile.
Gross. I mean, at worst, it's like not fresh, but or at best it's not fresh. At worst, it can be like rancid compared to
disgusting.
The yummy stuff that you get from fresh pressed olive oil. You can try this for free, you guys, a free full-size bottle. All you do is pay $1 for shipping when you go to chicksloveoliveoil.com. chicksloveoliveoil.com.
You're going to get
hooked.
You
just pay. Oh my God, you will. You're going to be like, what? I didn't even know that olive oil was supposed to have this kind of taste. It's a whole new kind of taste. And I know there's a bunch of people in our audience who have tried it and they're like, yeah, now we know what you're talking about. You can too. It's $1. It's $1 for shipping. You guys don't miss out. Try it. chicksloveoliveoil.com.
Do it.
Okay. If you thought that the college protests were bad, if you thought that what you're seeing out on the streets was bad, unfortunately, it gets even worse because it's now infiltrated high schools. What you're about to see are high school kids in a San Franciscan high school. Listen to what they're saying here. High school.
Do you think they even know what they're doing? I mean, honestly, do these kids even know what they're saying? I mean, they're just chanting a bunch of stuff. They're to the river, to the sea, Palestine will be free. That's what they're chanting through the halls. These are probably 15 to 17-year-olds, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, young kids. So yeah, somebody said they're going to be voting soon. They will be. Okay.
Yeah. Some of them probably already can.
Yeah, some of them probably can. I mean, it's completely terrible. This is like stuff that that terrorists scream out, right? This seriously.
This means the end of Israel. Like they're literally calling for the end of Israel.
Yeah, to
out
kill
loud and proud.
Right, to kill Jewish people. This is what high schoolers are saying. Where the hell did they learn this stuff?
Yeah,
this is in our public schools.
Right. The school systems from K through 12 and on up through universities are broken.
Yeah. I mean, we've got to like really take stock on what's going on in our public schools, like reassess what the hell is going on. It's not okay. This is just not okay. And then you look around and see all the anti-Semitism that is going on in our country this week.
Yeah.
Holy
it makes me
cannoli.
not recognize America. Like all of those, I want to believe that it's a tiny, loud, very loud minority. But man, when you start seeing at that high school level, it makes you wonder, you know? I hate to play this next clip, but it has to be seen, I think, and heard, because I don't know if people fully realize the extent of the horrors that Hamas is perpetrating on Israelis. And so it's painful and awful to watch and listen to. This is just an interview with two different rescue, like first responder workers who who have seen firsthand what happened on October 7th. Here they are.
We went in. The first house we saw was a couple, father and mother, sitting there on the knees on the floor. They were on the knees. Now they were head down, hands tied to the back. On the other side of the dining room was a 7-year-old boy and a girl, I would say about 6 years old, sitting just against the parents, hands tied to the back, same position. The bodies were tortured. While now, start to use imagination. Who was tortured before? Who saw if this was on purpose? If this was the children looking at the parents being tortured? The parents seen, and when I say tortured, I will say missing body pieces. An eye, just taken out an eye, one eye, fingers being, and all this happened, and by the end, they all had a bullet, and still not finished. In the middle, there's a table. Those tables were sitting and eating the Saturday meal that was prepared for this family. They just took it and they ate this meal while torturing these children.
I know everybody's like, I can't, I'm looking away. Don't. Actually, what you need to do is forward it to everybody that you know and like share it everywhere and send it to Rashida Tlaib. That's what I do. Anytime I see a clip like that, I freaking send it to Rashida and I say, watch this and then go F yourself.
Yeah.
Because
and understand that this is who we're sending our freaking money to now.
Right.
This is who we're
This is
sending
who's
our
getting
money
the
to.
aid.
Yeah. Send it to Joe Biden. Send it to freaking Joe Biden is who
My
you need
God.
to send it to. I swear I cannot. This makes me ill. It's like, do they not get it?
No, they don't.
That money is going to go to more people who do this. That's why I can't, it makes me crazy to think that my money, my hard-earned money where I work, we work, our money is going to go to more of this. Like, wake up. That's what it goes to.
There was a Israeli reserve, an IDF reservist who has called up a woman who is, now I don't know what her role is going to be in this whole battle. But she was talking about what she is seeing and comparing it because she's the daughter of Holocaust survivors and her perspective matters.
I'm a child of Holocaust survivors, and I grew up hearing stories of the camps. I thought those were the worst stories. These stories are worse. And I think that that's the hardest thing for me. I never thought I would live to see something worse than the stories I grew up with.
It's just unreal. It's unreal that this is today, that this is today, that there are these kinds of barbarians.
I think
today.
And I think one of the reasons that it's worse is because it's so blatant. It's so open. It's so in your face. Like people are just outwardly saying it. Like we're seeing it on display. And it's people that you see in leadership positions that are just openly saying it, talking about it. It's like acting as if it's okay somehow. And then it's almost like a gaslighting thing. We're seeing it in our, and so people are like, well, wait a second. People like a Rashida Tlaib are like we just saw those school kids running down the hallways. And it's like, it's so bizarre that this is happening in 2023. It's like a modern day Holocaust. So we're watching it happen and we're like, wait, there is no shame. Yeah. And the fact that there's no shame with it makes it exponentially worse.
It's just hard to fathom that it's it's a thing that because even when we learn about the Holocaust, when we talk about the Holocaust, it seems we're so far removed from it. And there's something about the passage of time that makes you think, well, you become more like people advance. They don't devolve, right? And to see this kind of devolution, if for lack of a better word, this devolvement, I don't know what the right word is, but it's like we're becoming more like cavemen, yeah, and barbaric. It just doesn't make any sense, and that's what makes it so hard to swallow. You're about to see Kara. Kara says it's the significance of the passage of time.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So what you're about to see, Naftali Bennett, former Prime Minister of Israel, gave the best schooling to Anderson Cooper about the media coverage of this. And I was like, okay, well, this is a 3-minute clip, so I'm going to find like the best bits of it. I couldn't cut it. There was no cutting this. Okay. So you're going to see the whole thing because it is a thing of beauty. It's kind of like Pierre Poliver the other day, like schooling that journalist while he was munching on the apple. This is just another version of that. And Anderson ends up having to leave the clip completely defeated. Like he was just like, thank you for being with us. Like that's how it ends. Okay. So this is masterful.
I do also want to talk about this floating the narratives or the claims. There are no two sides to this hospital. Either it was bombed by Israel or it was targeted by someone else on the Palestinian side. And, you know, if two people come and say, one says it's raining outside and the other says it's dry, you don't bring the quotes of both sides. You just goddamn open the window and look whether it's raining or not. That's what we did. And this hospital, in fact, its parking lot was hit definitely 100% by Islamic Jihad barrage shot fired at 6:59 p.m. We have 3 different videos from different angles showing it. We have the ballistics. We know that an Israeli bomb would have created a crater which does not exist. We know that the propellant in the rocket, because it was a long-term rocket targeted for Israel, so a lot of that propellant was still in the rocket, which created a lot of fire. We have 2 Hamasniks talking to each other and saying and admitting that it is from Islamic Jihad. So, Anderson, with all due respect, there aren't 2 sides to this. Not everything is 2 sides. And I have a feeling that if it wasn't the state of Israel, then I think the global media would have behaved very differently.
We're simply saying we have not been able to independently verify the claims that have been made. We have reported exactly what Israel has put forward, and also that the U.S. intelligence community has backed up as well. And that certainly seems to be what President Biden has also been basing his assessment on. It's what he said, information from his own Defense Department, in addition to Israel's presenting of evidence.
Anderson, I have to barge in here. I have to say something. You know, I was in 9/11. I was in Manhattan when it happened. And if a day later, Al-Qaeda would have said that it's America who perpetrated it, no one would have quoted it, Al-Qaeda. No one would, and you didn't have validation back then that it was Al-Qaeda, but you knew it's not America. And somehow there's a double standard here. You had 30 hours to validate. We have all the information. Everything is transparent. For heaven's sakes, to see the headline of the New York Times saying the Palestinians claim that Israel bombarded a hospital, we don't do that. It's the Palestinian who rape young girls. It's the Palestinians who tear apart limbs. It's the Palestinians who burn whole families and shoot 5-month-old babies. It's the Palestinians, for heaven's sake, who kidnap 84-year-old Holocaust survivors. It's not the Israelis. This is not what Israel does. And you've had ample time. Do your job and show the truth. There is moral clarity in the world. Not everything has 2 sides to it.
Naftali Bennett, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for being with us.
Smackdown. How'd that feel, Anderson? How'd that feel? Yeah.
Wasn't that glorious?
Yeah, it was glorious. And it was over freaking due is what it was. God, that was a thing of beauty. I'm so glad that guy did that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Absolutely awesome. Alexandra, thank you. Alexandra says, shout out to my parents for raising me to be who I am. If it weren't for them, I'd be a psychopath about to turn 27 in a couple of weeks. Conservative parents need to put their foot down when it comes to kids' education. Absolutely right.
Yep.
You were raised right, Alexandra.
And ask questions. Ask all the questions when they come home. Stay on top of it. Stalk those schools, man.
Yeah. Laura Kate Baker, thank you. Dearest Chicks, thanks for your show. I love starting my day with you and our community. Pray and fasting for USA and Israel. Thank you, Laura. And Leslie L., thank you. So we're giving money to a state that chose this government under the guise of humanitarianism. Got it. Hey, all, I have oceanfront property for sale in Indiana. Right. And actually, that reminds me, there was a super sticker that came in, I think, like while we were closing out the show yesterday. So I just want to make sure that we also recognize Judy Flackney. If you're in here today, thank you so much for yesterday.
Thank you, Judy.
And I'm sorry that we didn't get you recognized yesterday. We also, what is that? What did I write? Oh, yeah. There was also the story that has to be told about a tweet that the White House put out yesterday. Let me just show you that. So this is the blurred out version. But keep in mind, the actual White House account, the official White House account, put out a photo of Biden meeting with special ops, the Delta Force ops soldiers. Their faces were in full view.
My God.
And they were like, this is the like special teams that are probably going to go in and try to rescue hostages. They put their faces out on social media. The picture, uncensored, was out for an hour before, because people were like, what the F are you doing? And then they were like, oh, yeah,
that was probably a bad idea. I mean, the person, the people, the team who did this should all be fired immediately.
Well, you would think. And then that was the question
God.
that Peter Ducey is addressing.
Though, while they were on the way back, we know that there was this post. He talked about meeting with first responders. The White House social media channels posted a photo where you could see the faces, the full faces of at least 4 special operators. And that is a big problem because
I cannot.
Those are the faces of the guys that are the tip of the spear. Those are the faces of people that go fight terrorists all around the world and don't want the terrorists to know who they are or where they are when they return back to the United States. We don't know tonight if the person or persons responsible for that have been punished. We don't know tonight if the White House thinks that is something that somebody should be punished for. We just know that as soon as they found out about it, they took it down because they understand the sensitivity of the situation.
No, they don't. They clearly don't.
No, they don't. They don't at all.
It required like Twitter followers to say to them, hey, you're not supposed to do that, you dumb shits. You're not supposed to show their faces.
Like, we have to tell them. I mean, people in the world have to tell them that's not a good idea. And these people are working in the White House.
They're running the show.
Nobody's safe. You guys we're not safe. We in danger, girl.
Oh yeah, we're in definite danger.
All the danger. God.
And meanwhile, the House still doesn't have a speaker, and that vote continues to be in shambles, and everybody's blaming everybody, and it's just a complete crap show, as we all knew it would be as soon as this all started happening. So Matt Gaetz defending his position. The question is, and I don't know that this reporter is asking it exactly right, but like, what power does the Republican-led House have right now that is better than when Kevin McCarthy had the spot? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing that we're like ballless right now. So essentially, that's what this reporter is asking Matt Gaetz, and here is the response.
You may not get Jim Jordan as speaker. You may get someone more moderate. What did you actually get for leading this charge to push out Kevin McCarthy?
We're shaking up Washington, D.C. We're breaking the fever. And you know what? It's messy. But the only reason people think there's chaos in this town right now is because the special interests aren't in control anymore. So I think we're going to have an upgrade at the position of Speaker of the House. For me, it was never about any one person. It was about ensuring that we got an upgrade at the position. Kevin McCarthy had failed us. He'd made multiple contradictory promises. We weren't really governing under McCarthy. Everybody's making this big deal out of the fact that we've burnt the equivalent of 4 legislative days on all of this. But I mean, we've spent like 7 legislative days on post offices and procedural votes, for goodness sakes. This is what it's supposed to be. And it's not clean and it's not orderly. And the lobbyists and the special interests hate it. But I don't seem to mind too much.
Really? Is it just the lobbyists and the special interests who hate it? Because I think most of America is sick of this shit show at this point.
I mean, there's a couple people that are like, oh my God, you go, Matt, you get them. But I mean, a lot of us are also like, we're about ready to go to war, and y'all need to get your shit together. There should have been a plan. There should have been a plan.
There should have been a plan.
Should have been a plan.
And now, and the point is that he can say, "Oh, we're going to get somebody better." How you don't know that, because if Jim Jordan can't get the vote, so are we going to get somebody, again, to that reporter's point, more moderate than Kevin McCarthy? Because Kevin McCarthy is pretty moderate. So we're either going to get like Democrat light, or we're just going to be at this standstill forever. And I don't know.
I don't want more moderate than Kevin McCarthy. Do y'all want more moderate than Kevin? I don't want that.
Because clearly the people who are less moderate don't have the votes.
Well, if you get more moderate than him, you are getting a Democrat. I don't want that. And that if we get that, then that's bad. It's really bad, you guys. And if that's what Gaetz wanted, then I feel like that's really a bad plan. There definitely isn't a plan. I mean, that's a terrible outcome. If that's
apparently, I don't know who it was, but there were rumors yesterday that Matt Gaetz and somebody else got into like a near fist fight over all of this stuff. So
I'd like to see that.
I would too.
I would really enjoy seeing that at this point. At this point, let's just see some fist fights. I mean, I want to at least see something for my money.
Maybe that's how we resolve this. Like, just have a duel. You know what I mean? Like just
like
have
the
a
third
duel.
world countries. Like, how the third world countries, they do that. They just start like fighting, like they just brawl on the floor. Yeah, I love that.
Well, and McCarthy is still battling Matt Gaetz, and here he is talking about that.
I think. No, I told him to sit down. I think the entire conference screamed at him. People are listen. The whole country, I think, would scream at Matt Gaetz right now. Remember, it was a crazy eights led by Matt Gaetz and every single Democrat that put us into this situation. We've never been in this situation before. But how do you have 4% of your conference remove a speaker when 96% are there? This is why we're here. He had no plan afterwards. Now we have Israel at a war, questions whether Congress can act, questions where we'd be able to go to select a new speaker. I mean, it's a difficult situation driven by one person for his own personal beliefs, his own animosity towards me, and his concern about what's inside an ethics complaint that was filed before I was even speaking.
I think that Gaetz and McCarthy just need to actually fight it out.
They need to be the ones in a duel.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see that. They just need to get on a, in a ring somewhere and just duke it out. So Jordan is actually going to try again, right?
We got a clip from him as well. But before that, we have Matt Gaetz, who is very, very mad because the first clip you saw of him, he's like, "Yeah, go me. I'm awesome, and this is exactly what I wanted, and this is working exactly the way it's supposed to."
Mm-hmm.
But then now there's this whole idea of just extending Patrick McHenry's powers through some undetermined amount of time, whether it's through the end of the year, through end of January, or whatever. Right. They're talking about that because they're at such a standstill, and Matt Gaetz is pissed about that. And so I'm kind of like, you know what? You don't get to be pissed right now because you basically caused this entire thing.
Yeah.
But here he is being all like, I don't like light stuff or Bud Light, whatever. You'll hear.
I don't like Bud Light.
But do you think that?
I think that I'm against Speaker Light. I'm against Bud Light. I believe it is a constitutional desecration to not elect a Speaker of the House. We need to stay here until we elect a Speaker. And if someone can't get the votes, we need to go on to the next person. But twisting and torturing the Constitution to empower a temporary Speaker is having a Speaker Light that is not constitutionally contemplated, is deeply infirm, and I will do everything possible to stop it.
The Bud Light thing was kind of stupid. That was kind of dorky. I'm just gonna put that out there. Like Bud Light. Okay, so Jim Jordan he just needs to get it done. So what he's doing is he's meeting with all the people who hate him, and he's like, listen, like the people who have voted against him, like those jackholes who are like, oh, McCarthy, I'm voting for McCarthy. Shut up and sit down and just vote for Jordan. All right.
Right.
Just
at least then, if that actually happens, and I'm not seeing that it will, but if for some reason there's a way that they can get Jordan in there, then Matt will have bragging rights, right? Like Matt will be able to see, we got Jim Jordan. He's way more conservative. Yeah. I just don't think it's going to happen. It's not looking like it's going to happen. And so if it does, great. I'll be happy. I'll be delighted to be wrong.
Jim
But
Jordan,
right
Jim
now,
Jordan, he just needs to get it done. He needs to get in there. He needs to woo these people. He needs to convince them. He's got to like put on his persuasion hat and his persuasion pants, get his balls in order, and he needs to get it done. He
well,
just
here
needs
he
to do
is
it.
saying that he's trying.
So I'll just say this: we made the pitch to members on the resolution as a way to lower the temperature and get back to work. We decided that wasn't where we're going to go. I'm still running for speaker, and I plan to go to the floor and get the votes and win this race. But I want to go talk with a few of my colleagues. Particularly, I want to talk with the 20 individuals who voted against me, so that we can move forward and begin to work for the American people.
I mean, he's trying. He's really trying.
Right. And Joanne, I know I say crappy stuff as well, but I'm not a congressperson.
What?
So she says I say crappy stuff as well. Like
what
the
does that
Bud Light,
mean?
like the Bud Light stuff. I shouldn't make fun of Matt Gaetz for saying Bud Light.
Oh.
But I'm not a person who's in charge of a bunch of constituents, like actually representing people. I'm not doing that. I have a podcast. A little different, Joanne. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
Unfortunately, the craziest people sometimes tend to be from our side of the aisle. And that has been no more true than in the voicemail that you're about to hear. We talked about this yesterday, that some of the people that are currently voting against Jordan, their wives are getting threatening texts and voicemails and messages. I don't know whose wife got this particular message that you're about to hear, but Jake Tapper, CNN, got a hold of one of those voicemail messages. And you guys, this is freaking batshit. And so it makes me so angry that these people come from our side. This is censored to some degree, but not fully. So like, hide your kids, hide your wives.
Hey, sir, are you going?
Why is your husband such a pig? Why would he get on TV and make an asshole of himself? Because he's a deep state prick?
Oh, my God.
Because he doesn't represent the people? So what we're going to do is we're going to come follow you all over the place. We're going to be up your ass nonstop. We are now Antifa.
Seriously?
We're going to do what the left does because your of a husband gets on TV and says, oh, the bad guys, they did so I'm going to vote for Kevin McCarthy, a piece of shit who everybody knows, and for his piece of shit ass, talk about Americans who are actually fighting for Americans
really nice.
As the bad people, says everything about him. So you, your husband, and we're not like the left. We aren't violent, but we're going to follow your ass, every appointment you have, everything you do. Your husband's an asshole. You should talk to his stupid ass.
Anyway,
it's so funny. There are people here that think that it's not real. You guys, it's real.
My God.
It's real. Listen, Mock and I have been stalked by conservatives. Like,
yeah,
it's real.
It's definitely real.
It's totally real. Yeah.
And I hope they find him. I mean, I want them to, I want that guy to be found, because it makes me insane that people go to these lengths.
People are insane. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. There are insane people that are liberals. There are insane people that are conservatives. Believe me.
Oh yeah. And we're very intimately familiar with those people, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean it's real. It's
that was a real voicemail.
Curio23, thank you. Curio23 says Democrats are the reason that there is no speaker. They keep voting no. Well, are they the reason? Because we had a speaker, and it wasn't Democrats who said, hey, we should try to vacate that. That was not Democrats. Now, did they vote alongside? Of course they did. It's not their job to elect a Republican speaker. So, I mean, on that point, I agree. We would never do this for them. Why would they do it for us? You know what I mean?
Right.
Kimberly Clark, why didn't somebody do this to Pelosi? She was, yeah, I agree. But they love her and they unite. Democrats
and they
are
rally
awesome
because Democrats don't do this to their own. It doesn't matter how vile they think that they are, even internally. They're always going to rally. This is what we've said this forever. Democrats always rally. It just doesn't matter. They will always unite, you guys, always. And that is
so much better at it.
The fact that we don't will lead to our demise. Period.
Yeah. I mean, it's not looking good right now. But what is good is Field of Greens. You guys. Let me get. Where's the front?
So good.
There it is.
So good.
Oh, there it is. You got yours too.
The idea right here. Right
So listen, if you're counting like the lettuce that you get in a Big Mac or like the
I do
cherry
that.
filling that you get in a pie
Totally. Apple.
as your
I
fruits
count
and
the apple.
veggies,
Apple is one of my fruits. I
those do
can't
not
count that.
count. No, those do not count. No.
Count.
And it's the Mayo Clinic is the Mayo Clinic, all the like health organizations tell you like how important it is to get your required dosage of veggies and fruits, fresh veggies and fruits every single day. It's so hard though. It is so hard to actually consume that much fresh fruits and veggies. So this is your cheat, right? Like this is how you do it without actually doing it. This is green powder. You just take a scoopful, you mix it in some water. It mixes up into a delicious fruit drink or like lemon iced tea sort of flavored drink. And this is what gets you closer to your daily requirements of fruits and veggies. The best cheat ever because you can drink it and you can have more than one, and you know you're getting what you need, all the vitamins, minerals, everything that you need from fruits and veggies to keep you healthy. You're getting it from Field of Greens, and you can get 15% off an order of Field of Greens if you want to try it, and you're gonna love it because I thought, ew, green powder, gross. It's not gross. It's so yummy. You just go to FOGCHICKS, FOGCHICKS.com. Use promo code CHICKS. You're going to get your 15% off. And then if you love it, which you will, and then you decide, I'm going to just get this routinely as a subscription, you'll get an additional 10% off when you subscribe. FOGCHICKS.com. FOGCHICKS.com. Did somebody? Yes, Julie.
Yes.
Thank you, Julie. Where's Matt Gaetz and his big mouth? Why isn't he stumping for someone? Well, to be fair, I mean, he has been supporting Jim Jordan like crazy. But it's not helping because they don't
nobody
have the
can get
votes.
along because people are like,
Right.
I don't like the way his toenails are. I don't like this.
Right.
I don't like that. Everybody's just so
He's got big
fickle
hands
on our side.
and
It's
I
just
don't
so
like that.
stupid. Just like rally. He'd be great.
He'd be great.
He'd be
Maybe. I don't
fantastic.
know. I mean, Jim Jordan is great at a lot of things. I don't know if he'd be a great speaker.
Well, I
They're
mean,
just
that's-
like
okay.
grasping at straws right now.
Listen, that's a great point because you used to be in HR, and one of the things that we talked about off the air one day was, there are certain people who are good for certain jobs.
Yeah.
Jim Jordan is good at a lot of things, but would he be actually good at being speaker? I don't know.
Can he fundraise? Can he rally? It's looking right now like he can't. So there's like things that are required of a speaker that I don't know if Jim Jordan is good at.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We hope, but at this point, it's like Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. We got to get somebody in there. I think that he'd be okay.
Kevin McCarthy is very, very good at fundraising.
He was
at compromise.
He was
right.
This guy.
He's
like,
that guy.
He was Shooter McGavin. He was like
totally.
He was totally Shooter McGavin when it came to being speaker, and you kind of have to be that. And he was that. He wasn't perfect, but he was fine. And now it's like,
he was not perfect, but you can't get perfect when you have this slim of a majority. People are like, oh, well, Republicans have the majority so they can do anything they want. No, they can't, because they don't have the Senate. They don't have the presidency. And so there has to be give and take, even when we don't like it. That's the whole nature of compromise. This is what people get so stuck on. Well, if we have the House, then we should be able to do all of these super conservative things. That's not how government works. You guys got to learn how it works so you understand that there has to be working together. There has to be compromise. It's the only way government can get anything done.
And
I just don't know.
Now we're completely screwed.
Somebody earlier was like, you're losing followers. That is not why we do what we do. Okay.
No.
So we're not going to be like, we better be honest. We better like lie to everybody about how we really feel.
Let's say what makes you happy so we can get followers. You listen, we've been doing this for 15 years. We don't do it for that. If we did it for that, we'd be Dana Lash. We'd be Megan. We're not, obviously. Look at us. Look where we are.
We're always going to tell the truth about what we think. And if you don't like that, that is okay. But
exactly.
That's not why. Yeah, we're not. It doesn't. We're never going to lie. And so you can not like our views. That's fine. But we're still going to say them. That's like the whole reason that we are
Exactly. Exactly. Why are people so fixated on that? I've never understood that.
I don't know. I don't understand it. Listen, I know this is totally apropos of nothing that we've been talking about today, but there was a recent study that Dr. Drew was on Megyn Kelly's show to talk about with respect to the mRNA vaccines and the damage that they do to young men. And we've talked all about myocarditis and all that kind of stuff before, but there are new studies, new peer-reviewed, published studies in like legit journals. And Dr. Drew was on Megyn's show just in a state of disbelief that this is not making huge headlines right now. So he will give a little update about what they found. And then Megyn goes on the best tear
Oh my God,
ever.
it's extraordinary. He's so panicked too. That's what really worries me. Like everybody should be worried about their families and their own health. Doesn't he seem panicked to you in this?
Well, he's just like, why isn't anybody talking about this?
Right. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So here is Dr. Drew and Megyn.
Get sick, and they're going to have long-term consequences, and they should sue those schools for having forced them to take a
I agree with
medical
that.
intervention.
100% they should sue. And if anybody tries to force you from this point forward, get a fake card. It's not that hard. Go ahead, Google it, get a fake.
We like missed the whole beginning.
It's more common than we thought. People are like, well, it's mild, it's no big deal. It's self-limited, blah, blah. Look, in my world, throughout my entire career, 40-year career, myocarditis is a medical emergency. It's a dire problem. A publication just came out 5 days ago in Circulation, a major cardiology journal. An excellent study, and it took my breath away. I didn't know why it wasn't headline news. It's a large study, and it showed that approximately half of the young males that got myocarditis had permanent heart damage.
Yep.
Permanent. That means that we don't know what percentage are going to be disabled by this as they get older, are going to develop heart failure, or going to need cardiac transplants, some of them. It's breathtaking, this study, and why it wasn't a big headline. I've sort of sent it around a little bit because I don't understand why people aren't reacting to it. So in a 27-year-old male, the illness is a nothing. So the vaccine is all risk.
Right.
Why the push? Why are we pushing? And I think, put your legal head on for a second, that universities are going to be in big trouble for having mandated young people to get that vaccine. Because people are going to get sick, and they're going to have long-term consequences, and they should sue those schools for having forced them to take a
I agree
medical
with that.
intervention.
100% they should sue. And if anybody tries to force you from this point forward, get a fake card. It's not that hard. Go ahead, Google it, get a fake card.
And again,
don't comply.
We have a good treatment. We have Paxlovid. Why? And people have all kinds of feelings.
You have to say you've gotten the shot to get in.
Right.
Get a fake one. Just Google it on the internet. It's bullshit. If they're going to create these bullshit rules, you can create your bullshit way around them.
Yes.
It's all just like a theater. So let's act. I'll act like I've gotten my 50th booster, and you can act like you're satisfied I'm telling you the truth.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it so much. Yes, amen to that. Everybody should do that. I think that's the greatest advice. If you take one thing from this podcast today, that's it, you guys. Right? I mean, seriously.
It just cracked me up.
And I know you were so worried about that when your son was going off to college, when he got accepted to college. And then like going through the college process, like, do you guys require this? Do you require this?
I asked every last coach. I was like, tell me what the vaccine, tell me what the deal is, tell me about your masking policy, tell me all of it. And we did not consider any places that would have mandated any of that bull crap.
But listen, if your son would have been like, I really want to go to this college, but they require it, what would you have done? You would have had to do exactly what she said, which is we have to fake it. We have to totally get you like a fake card, right?
Yeah.
Because think about it. Like my daughter, she's 13. Starting next year, we're going to be looking at colleges. I know that sounds crazy, but she's a swimmer and she's going to start looking at, okay, what colleges are going to, do I want to think about going to, because she thinks she wants to be an engineer. And then it's going to be like, okay, I guarantee you, even 4 years from now, there's going to be mandates for this crap. I guarantee it. They're still going to be pushing this crap. Don't you think? Don't you guys?
There are already schools that are demanding that you have the most recent booster.
Yes.
And I'm just like, what is even happening? Did they learn nothing?
No, they've learned
It's incredible.
nothing. I can't believe it. I cannot believe that because you sent me something the other day about a college requiring.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember where it was either.
I can't.
But there's
Baylor.
plenty.
I think it was.
Yes.
I think it was Baylor. Baylor
Yes.
University, 15 minutes down the road from me. Baylor University here in Texas. They require
up
it.
to date.
Can you even, you guys? And out of everything, and that they have a great medical school there. And I'm thinking,
Is Texas A&M, Kimbra, do you know if Texas A&M is requiring that? I don't because I don't know.
I mean, Texas A&M, of course, Daisy is what
There's
Kimber
it's
said.
in Texas. I can't.
I don't know if they
Baylor, like what in the world?
But I mean, we'll do it. I'll be like, there's no way you're getting that. I'm not putting that crap in. Not letting
I did
you put
not
that crap
know,
in.
Emily. I did not get the mRNA. I got the one shot J&J because I was absolutely. There was no way that I was going to get the mRNA. I was way too scared of that. Okay, Texas A&M does not.
They don't.
But yeah, I got the J&J one shot dose, and I regretted it the instant I got it. I was so pissed off that I was working for a place that was requiring it. I was so mad about doing it.
And especially with college athletes and stuff like that too. I can't believe that a lot of these universities are requiring these college athletes to do it, but I'll do exactly what Megan says.
Yeah.
Because no.
Okay, but let me just make sure I've thanked everybody because I have to show you guys the best Ben Shapiro clip you're ever going to see in your entire life. GCQC, thank you so much. I just shared you on my Facebook page, so you are probably going to gain some followers. Good show.
Aw,
Thank you for
that's
that.
so
That's so
sweet.
sweet. I
Thank
wish
you.
everybody would do that. People that are saying that we've lost followers, we're not. Because we have the analytics. So people will say that and they'll be like, I'm unfollowing you forever. And then as soon as they do that, then we get like normal common sense people following us. And I'm like, yay,
Right.
I like this balance a lot better anyway.
Yeah, we don't really pay much attention to that. We just like doing, we adore doing what we do. And we love the people who we absolutely just appreciate and love our community so much. I mean, that's why we do what we do. We love y'all.
Yeah,
we love getting up and doing what we do every single day. And that's what it's all about, right? Exactly.
All right. So Ben Shapiro, again, this is like totally not related to anything that we've talked about today, but and I don't even know how old it is. This might be super old for all I know, but it's one of those Ben Shapiro clips talking to like a giant room full of students who are allowed to ask him questions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those clips where somebody's like, you don't believe in trans kids and you're mean about gender affirming care for kids. And Ben Shapiro's face in this entire clip, you're going to the end is the best. Okay. So like, just hang, it's very short. Hang until the very end and listen carefully to what he says because it's perfect. But also watch how his facial expression does not move.
It's unshakable,
it's
unflappable.
Amazing. Watch. And
go.
And
go.
Where is it? There we go. There we go.
Hi, Ben. You have consistently talked about trans youth. Specifically, you have opposed the transitioning of trans children, both medically and sociologically. Am I getting that correct so far?
I deny the existence of trans children, yes.
You deny the existence of trans children, but children who experience, okay, let me clarify. Children who have experiencing gender dysphoria.
Sure, they exist, yes.
Sure,
kids who exist, yes.
And there are options available to them. You have claimed that you oppose medical transitioning for these children, namely and specifically to what normally happens is puberty blockers, which you have called you called it child abuse. Is that correct?
It is. That's correct.
You consider it You consider it child abuse. You consider it child abuse because you believe that a child is not capable of consenting to what you consider are irreversible procedures. Is that correct?
A damaging, irreversible procedure.
Damaging. Okay. Ben, are your children circumcised? Did you circumcise your children?
Yes, I have two sons and they're both circumcised.
Why would you do that? Isn't that kind of hypocritical?
Nope, I'm circumcised. My dick works just fine.
Look at his face. I mean, I died. I was just like, that is
like completely.
And I don't want to get into like a whole thing because I know people have very strong feelings about circumcision both ways.
We're not going to talk about it. We're not talking about circumcision. We just wanted everybody. We just wanted you to see his face.
Was awesome in that moment. He was just like, my dick works just fine. And
my dick works just fine, you guys. Works just fine.
It was everything. I just loved it so much. Loved it.
And I'm sure his wife is in the background going, yeah, it works just fine.
We got 4 kids. We're good.
Works just
all
fine.
Good here.
Still works after the 4 kids too. Works just fine.
It was the greatest. All right. Now I have your whack ready to go. Would you like to?
Yes, I will set this up. So apparently there is a shortage of women in Australia specifically. Maxim Australia has come out with the top 100 hottest women list. And this gentleman named Danielle Laidley, I think is what his name is. He's on the list. He is now I will say he's number 92 on the list. If I were number 93, I'd be pissed.
Oh my God. I'm pissed because I'm an actual woman. And I'm not saying I'm like, should be on the hottest 100. Do they run out?
They did. It's just there's a shortage of women apparently. But can you imagine being number 93 through 100 on that list? I'd be like, oh, geez.
Literally every biological woman should be super, super mad.
Hottest.
Because we all at least are actual women.
Margot Robbie is on this list. Margot freaking Robbie, who is legit one of the hottest women on the planet. She's on this list. 100 women, right? She's on a list of.
She's number one,
women.
is she not? Is she?
I hope
she's
number one. She should be number one in the universe. She is legit the hottest woman on the planet. Okay, she's so gorgeous. And then this gentleman is on the list. I mean, what's happening? What's going on?
Can't.
Yeah, exactly. Who judges these? Gabriel Paul's mom. Gabriel Paul's. I think that I got that right. Who does judge this? Who's the judge of what's hot and what's not? Because look at this. If you go to the can you go to the source article? Can you even do that, or can you do that?
No, this isn't clickable.
Yeah, there's a source article, and it shows another picture of this gentleman. It's not hot. I mean, I don't.
It's not a woman. That's the problem. If this is a list of the hottest 100 women, it seems like the basic qualifier would be an actual woman. I mean,
like, what is our world, you guys? What is going on?
Did you see that the first comment on this tweet was just a picture of Sandra Bullock with a blindfold from Bird Box, and it said, "Is this the judge?"
Go on. I can't. It was actually Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder judged this. It was him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And this person played football. It was a former football champion.
He did.
In Australia. He played football, you guys. So naturally, he's going to make it on the Maxim Australia's top 100 hottest women's list. Naturally.
Oh my God.
Because this is our world now. This is how whack our world is. Welcome into the weird hot tub. The water's warm. Come on in. This is it.
Pamela Bennett Walton, thank you. She says, okay, if you two ran for president and vice president, I would vote for you. The question is, who would be president and who would be vice? You both rock. Love you both. We will never run for office of any sort.
Mock would be like, you be president, because that seems like a lot of work.
Like a lot of work. Vice president, man, that is the cushest job. I will take it gladly.
She'd totally make me be president. That's what she would do. She'd be like, it just seems like a lot of work. Because you know what? When we get into a car, she makes me drive.
Every time. Every time. Which, by the way, I was telling you, I think off air, that my husband pointed out to me that as many times as we have been to South Carolina, you know, because we're going to be moving there, and so we've gone like several times a year since 2017.
You've never driven.
I have not driven on a single road in South Carolina.
Does not shock me at all. I am not shocked by this at all. This factoid does not shock me. Like, this is my non-shock face.
Not a single solitary speck have I driven. Not a single one.
No.
He will not let me drive.
It's not driving Miss Daisy. It's actually driving Miss Mock. That's our life.
It's true.
Like I
It's
always
true.
drive when we're together. And honestly, she drove when we were in Nashville for a little bit when we were in Nashville, which is weird because we were in her car. Like, because I flew to Nashville the last time we were there, and then we were in her car. And it was very odd for me.
Because I picked you up and everything.
Felt very, very strange and out of sorts. And then there was one particular time, I don't even know what you did. You did some maneuver in the car. Oh, you did a U-turn.
And it was like in the middle of a bunch of construction and stuff.
And I was like, you should do a U-turn here. And you were like, I can't. I'm like, do it. And I'm cheering her on. I'm like, just do it. And then she did it. I'm like, yeah. Because she's just not a very risky driver. She's very... You know, she's sort of like a how do I describe that? Kind of like an old person.
Cautious.
Very
but I mean,
cautious.
I speed.
You speed a little, but you're like, as you get older, you become even more of an old person.
It's true.
She just likes to be driven.
I do like to be driven, and I would share driving, you know, with my husband if he wanted me to. Like, if he said, "I really need a break," you know, I'll let you drive. I would happily, but he just won't.
He's just scared. I think he's scared, you guys. Right.
But I mean, I have I know my way around South Carolina and in Beaufort. I know my way around mostly, but not as well as I would if I had actually driven the roads myself. So anyway, all right, it is time for some talks. Let's get into this right now because we have to start with the video you sent me yesterday that I died laughing at of a husky
Yes.
getting the owner wanted to capture the way that the husky jumps off of their porch and managed to get it on film, was not expecting what happened next.
Here it
and
goes.
go.
I'm gonna get the husky jumping. Here it goes. Yay!
So majestic.
Such a great shot. Oh no. Oh, oh no.
It's on my phone. Oh.
Isn't that the greatest? It's so great.
Oh my God.
That would
I
happen
love
to my
that.
daughter. She would be like, I'm gonna get Coda jumping. Oh, jeez.
Oh no. So this one, I'm so torn on this next clip because it is the most precious angel of a small child, a little boy who clearly likes coloring, unfortunately with Sharpies. And he did some artwork throughout the house. And the woman is just like, oh my God, which is exactly how I would react. I would be completely blown away by all the damage. But then when you see his face, oh my God, the amount that you're going to want to hug this kid. Look at this.
No words. Like what?
Oh no. Oh no.
It's happy. No, we're not happy.
Oh, look at him.
No one is happy.
Oh my God, his face, you guys. I would you can do anything here. Draw him on the couch.
Oh my gosh.
He was so cute. But I too would be mad if my kid did that. I would be super mad. But
Like all the flooring has to be redone. The toilet is happy. The toilet is the only thing that's happy, honey. That's it. The only thing.
Proud, he was like, the toilet
He's like,
is
but the
happy.
toilet's happy.
And then she's like, nobody's happy. And he just looked crushed. He just, oh God, it just broke my heart. Anyway, I need to show you the most useless cat that has ever existed. That's a mouse. That's a mouse. There's a cat. You're going to get the cat. Can you please take care of this? Look. Can you get that?
Been chasing it all night, damn it. Do something with it.
What is the cat doing?
It's just like, what's up?
Oh my God.
Do I like him? I don't know. He seems all right.
Hey, buddy. Look, the mouse is like, hey, bud, what's up?
It gets worse. Oh, you seem like a really nice place to hang out.
Oh my gosh.
And the cat's like, wait, that feels weird. I don't know, man. That feels...
What is even happening? I'll take you for a ride.
And then it's like crouching because it doesn't know what to do.
Oh, that is not okay.
Worst
that cat is fired.
Ever.
The cat is so fired. What in the world?
And the mouse is just like, this is
awesome.
That's
what you send the dog in after that. You just send the dog in. Take care of business.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to show you a very scary, almost bear encounter. I'm just going to mute it because it's music. There's no sound to the actual original video. This kid is the luckiest kid in the world. And whoever this dude is a complete hero. Look at this.
Oh my God. What in the world?
Can you even? That kid almost got 8. And that guy's like, not on my watch. Not today.
That dude is awesome. Yeah.
And then the kid's just like, I'm just going to keep skateboarding.
Oh my God.
And one of the comments, it was so great. One of the comments was, when that kid got home and the parents were like, how was your day? He was like, fine.
Yeah, nothing. Or like, what did you do today? Nothing.
Nothing.
I did nothing. Nothing at all.
You know how much I love deer, and especially when we go to Fripp Island, there's deer everywhere and they let you feed them and they're super domesticated and it's awesome. Deer in the wild and dogs don't really know what to do with one another. They like, are we friends? Are we the same? Like, I don't even know. I have never seen a deer do what you're about to see in this video, which is when confronted with a dog, they stamp their feet like really, really loud.
Huh.
And I've just never seen it. And I thought other people might be interested in how this happens. This is so weird what this deer does.
The dog's laying down.
See how he's like stomping?
It's like he wants to play.
But he's like really stomping.
It's so interesting.
Right? I've just never seen this before.
But the dog is like I don't know if the dog is in attack or play mode. It looks like he's being playful.
I don't know. Like we got to look at his tail.
Somebody's saying he's doing it as a warning.
Oh, okay. Like step off.
He stopped to give a head. Like, okay, it's a warning.
I've just never seen this before.
Everybody's saying it's a warning. A warning for what? Is he going to come after the dog?
Like, what would he do? What's the next step? Like, what happens next?
They going to tussle?
See him stomping?
Yeah.
You don't.
Like, don't come after me. Maybe there's a baby near. Okay. Like he's going to attack him or something.
They're both posturing, right?
Yeah.
And this is like the whole video. Like it just does this for like a long time and there's no resolution.
Deer can mess you up. They will kill you with their feet? Huh.
Really?
Yeah.
They wheeze? Oh, I haven't seen that either. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, well, I learned something.
Trish said FAFO. Yeah.
I definitely learned something about deer.
Listen, I put a little money on that dog though. I'm just saying.
I feel like he would step up.
That dog could he could hold his own. That dog looked like he was kind of tough.
This is why you should always check your surroundings before you do any like big movement exercise.
Oh
I can assure you, first of all, I'm not doing that and any place in my house. I'm not doing that. But if I did do that, that would not happen with my Great Dane. It's just not.
No, they would. That would you would not have to worry about a Great
Dane. I don't have to worry about that with my dog. No, all
right,
slow-mo is awesome. I love that. Nice touch.
We're gonna cap it off with some Casper and some Beatles.
Fantastic.
And Casper does a really, really good job with Beatles.
Casper, come sing with me. Come on. Good boy. Ready? Can you kisses?
Oh,
you want to see some Beatles? First verse, and then you come in on Hold Me, Love Me, okay? Ooh, I need your love, babe. Guess you know it's true. Hope you need my love, babe. Just like
he's just waiting.
I need you.
He did great.
Ain't got nothing but love, babe. 8 days a week.
Didn't he do so good?
He did really great. Look at him go.
Best I've ever heard him
That
sing.
was fantastic. Good for Casper. What a cutie patootie.
So precious. Anyway.
You guys, it's Friday. Who's glad that it's Friday? Raise your hands.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Everybody bring it in. Bring it in. What are we doing this weekend? I got swim. I got church on Sunday. We're meeting friends for church on Sunday. Lots of stuff going on. What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? What are you doing?
Know that we're
Let's
doing
see
a
in the
lot.
Comments.
Next weekend is busy for us. This weekend, not so much. I think we're
Carrie's
just
heading to the
hang.
beach. God, you're going to the beach. Look at you, fancy pants McGee. What are you guys doing? What are you doing?
Everybody's asking for Astrid.
Okay, I'll go get her. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we need weekend or pre-weekend flaps for sure.
In the trunk. Get in here. People want to see you. Come on.
Make sure. Did I thank everybody? Did I get everybody?
She's got an LA face.
Oh, I got two. Okay, let's
Oakland
have
booty.
flaps first.
Hey, LA face and an Oakland booty right here. There it is.
Yay!
It's a Friday flap for everybody, you guys. Friday flap.
All right, two more thanks. Shelly says, great weekend coming up as we welcome grandchild number 14.
Oh my
this
gosh.
Sunday. It is a scary world, but I know how the story ends because I know the author. Texas Aggie mom and grandma here at Giga Maggie's. Thank you, Shelly.
Love it. Can
And
you go sit?
Allie Rue Gaudette says, I ordered my MyPillow 2.0 body pillow. I can't wait to get it. Oh man, you're going to love it. You are going to
Oh my
love
gosh.
it. Thank you
My
so much.
pillow pillows are the best.
The bomb diggity.
Okay, so I have 3 gifts. I should probably wait till Monday. Or you want me to do it now?
Yeah, do now.
Let me do it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, if you don't want to stick around, have a great weekend. But I'm going to do 3 gifts really quick right now. Okay. So let's see. Astrid, you need to get out of my way, buddy. I got this really cool. It's kind of like a pseudo nativity thing, and this is from Darren Hanley, and he is with silverfoxart.com. This is really cool. It's so I can read the note really quick. He said, with September being a total shit show and October starting off quite the same, I'm sending you something that can be celebrated all year round. On the Wednesday before Easter this year, I was struck by the fact that we have the nativity, yet nothing is a physical representation of his purpose. So as I set out to create something to celebrate Easter all year long. It is meant to be closed on a Friday and open on a Sunday and celebrated every day. I hope you appreciate this as much as I think you will. Let Mock know that I can send her one way if she would like, or I would be glad to come up with something special for her. He watches on Facebook or Rumble, appreciates us and our team for all of the followers. You don't have to mention receiving this as it is a gift, but I'm obviously mentioning it because it's really cool. So this is really neat. So what you do is it's like, I don't know if you can, I gotta back up, but it's like this like nativity thing where like you open and close it.
What is that made of?
It's like it's all wood.
Oh
It's all wood. And then
gosh.
he puts like, isn't that cool? And then he puts like
and he made it look like stone.
He makes it look like stone,
Wow.
but it's all wood. The whole back of it is wood. Isn't that
Wow.
cool? He does amazing work.
That's
So
some impressive stuff.
It is really impressive. He's such an incredible artist. So it's silverfoxart.com. And thank you so much, Darren. You're so thoughtful. People are so unbelievably talented.
So crafty.
Do all of the stuff. So that's that. To make sure I get the name right on this. Make sure I get the right person. This one is, let me see if I have the right person. Do I have the right name? Okay, I don't have a name with this one. Hold on. Do I have the right name? Okay, so hold on. Two more. So I got one more, just one more. This one is from Rin. Do I have Rin's last name? Rin. Let me make sure I have Rin's last name. I don't know if I do. I don't know if I have Rin's last name or not. But she sent me, it's just Rin. I don't know if I have Rin's last name.
It's like Cher.
No, Rin Hauk.
Okay, there we go.
It's
like
Rin
that sound like the dog makes when he pukes.
Yeah, like
no offense, because we're just reminding everybody that TikTok when he's
yes.
like, "Ow."
I got a bunch of like teas. I got a bunch of teas. So a bunch of teas and stuff like that.
Oh, teas, not like t-shirts, but like teas.
No, a bunch of teas. And then I got this cute. Look at this. Isn't that cute?
Gosh,
I love it so much. The little coin purse. And then I don't know if you guys know this, but I collect these. I don't think she knew this, but I collect these from Starbucks. I know a lot of people hate Starbucks, but I love these mugs so much. These are like the little place mugs. So if I go to a different state or a different city, I buy the Starbucks mug. I have a lot of them sitting up in I don't have a place to put them, like display them, but I have a bunch all up in a cabinet. Because I have tall cabinets in my kitchen and I have a whole cabinet full of these mugs. So I was so excited because I do not have the Texas one. I have,
oh my God.
Like I have a San Antonio, I have an Austin, I have a Houston, I have a Dallas.
So it's every city. It's not just the
city
state
ones. Yeah, they have the city ones. And if I go to like, I have a San Francisco one. We went to California. I have like a bunch of like city mugs from Starbucks. I don't know. A lot of people collect these. Somebody says that they collect them too.
Yeah, a bunch of people are saying that.
Kristen says she collects them too. Like there's oh God, Coda just came in. Sorry, but anyways,
wait, we got it in Biggin. Everybody gets to see Coda. Look at him.
I got Coda. Sorry, he just got home. Sorry, everybody. Anyways, I collect them, and so she got me this, and I'm super excited that she did.
Cookies and cream.
Greg he had no idea I was still on. So anyways.
Well, we ran a little late today.
But anyways, I got that from her. So thank you, Ren. You had no idea that I did that. And now I have the Texas one. I'm super excited about it. So thank you. So, and then the third gift I will show on Wednesday because I don't have all the stuff together for that. I'm sorry. Did I say Thursday?
You said Wednesday.
Did I say Wednesday?
Yeah.
What did I say? Okay.
I
meant
Wednesday.
Monday. You knew what I meant. I meant Monday. So I'll show it on Monday when we get back together. And
there's cookies and cream again.
Oh my God. Cookies and cream. You guys, he ate a bunch of cough drops this morning.
He looks fine.
And
he looks like it was just fine.
And my husband said they're sugar free. I was like, is he going to die? He's like, no, but he has minty lemony breath. So he's fine. He just ate a bunch of cough drops. So
oh my gosh.
Everybody have
dog twofer today. That was awesome.
Everybody have a fantastic weekend. And we will talk to you on Monday.